Okay. I've got something to add about the um, idea of overcoming demonic intrusions, establishing peace. And that's the idea of pendulums. So when some negative entity or presence or whatever tries to mess with you, each intrusion and each move it makes into your reality costs it energy, and its energy supply isn't unlimited. If the cost benefit of using energy to mess with you versus the amount of loosh energy it's harvesting from you in the form of fear gets too imbalanced, and it's just wasting energy and no longer is worth it for it. Um, so each active move against you is very precious, and they actually only have a very small supply to use against you. And what they rely on, since they have such a small supply of what they can use karmically and for other reasons, is the pendulum effect, where basically they try to push you a little in this direction, and then you go in that direction, and then they could just maybe push a tiny bit in this direction, and then you're going So that's why the first rule of dealing with these things, and this is just a general martial rule, and maybe even a rule for all of life, is um, to first learn to not fight yourself, and that is a whole art form. Not fighting yourself. Make sure if you get pushed on a little here, you don't tense up and mess up your structure, so to speak, and start getting, I don't know, angry or defensive or on a vendetta to fight back or fearful. If you get a little push against you, don't respond. So the first thing, if you are in the midst of what feels like some kind of energetic attack or whatever, is to become very still, and ensure that in this moment and the next, you're not fighting against yourself. You're not pushing on any pendulum. At the very least, you just stop, 360, assess your landscape, and just feel, is anything pushing against me? And just feel it without responding, without doing anything. If you can do that, and you can, something you might find is a lot of the motion that you thought was an action against you was actually your own flailing. So don't play into the pendulums. And this is something I'm guilty of. Another one of the pendulums is to become like obsessed with the idea of dark attacks or whatever, to make it an identity. So that's another part of demanifesting it, and it has to do with this not fighting yourself pendulum thing. You don't want to assign yourself the role of someone who's like the victim of demonic attacks. You face the reality of what's happening to you, but don't write that into your reality code. All right.